Hello. We may or may not have some people here, and we're just going to give you guys a few minutes to drop into the webinar and get ready to go before we get started. If you could put a little message in the right-hand side of your screen in the comment box, that'll just give us an idea that you're hearing us and that you're seeing us. I can see people dropping in. That's awesome. Christchurch, hi Christchurch. A little chillier down there today, I think. Queenstown, yay. Very cool, I think. Hello from Hamilton. And Dunedin. Oh, we've got a good South Island crew showing up here. That's excellent. Okay, so I guess we must be all hearing us pretty well and seeing us. Hastings. Sunny Hastings. Yay, Australia's showing up. Love to see some more Aussies jump in the comment box. But anyway, what we'll do is it looks like we're all set to go. Thank you for joining us today on the Utah Office of Tourism webinar training. For those of you who joined us on the first webinar, we're excited to now have you join us on the Dive Deeper into Utah. My name's Karen McArdle. I'm your in-market rep, and I'm joined here with Haley, who's coming to us from Salt Lake City in Utah, and she's going to take us through. Now, if you have any questions, as per normal, pop them into the comment box and we'll answer them as we go. We'll join links. We'll give you as much information as you can. Also, if you're part of the Sell Your Way, you will get an additional point, so that goes as usual. And if you haven't joined, you still can join, so more details will come. We also have the Prezi card that we're giving away again today. So Bailey will send out post the webinar information on who's won that. So you have to answer the questions at the beginning and at the end to qualify. So, but before we get started, we just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about Utah. Bailey's going to put those up on the screen, and then I will hand you over to Haley, who's going to take you through the Dive Deeper. So have you road tripped in the US? We're just wanting to get an idea of who's actually already done this themselves, and how many have we got skiers or snowboarders out there in Utah who've been to Utah before and done it. So if you want to answer those, we can then head away and get started on diving deeper into Utah. Thank you, Haley. I'll hand you over.
Great. Thank you. So yes, today we're excited to get into the Dive Deeper. Before we get into the actual presentation, wanted to show you a couple of videos. We stopped our normal advertising, when this pandemic hit, and as our soft re-entry into the market, we came up with these couple of videos that are simply trying to empathize with everyone and thank them for taking small but mighty actions for the greater good. So I will let those play now.
A little rain over time, freezing and thawing. That's all it took to create the thousands of arches in Utah. So, if you feel insignificant, simply staying at home, don't. You're doing your part. You're making a difference, just like a little bit of rain. By being careful, you protect those around you. It's a small thing, but it's mighty.
And a second one real quick.
A little rain over time, freezing and thawing. That's all it took to create the thousands of arches in Utah. So, if you feel insignificant, simply staying at home, don't. You're doing your part. You're making a difference, just like a little bit of rain. By being careful, you protect those around you. It's a small thing, but it's mighty.
Great. I think we might have played the same one twice, but you can look on our YouTube channel and see the other one that we did focused around sand. And hopefully that just connected you to our beautiful natural world and showed some empathy for everybody. So let's get into the presentation. That's me and Karen in Utah here. And to start off, I just wanted to show off our beautiful capital city, Salt Lake City. You can see our proximity to the mountains around us. And we talked a little bit last time about the area that Utah is in the Intermountain West, you can see there, but also wanted to talk about flight paths. So how you would get here from Auckland, Sydney, or Melbourne. You can see the different options there once, of course, that starts up again. And you should have heard by now about the greatest snow on earth that we have here. But if you didn't know specifically, we have 15 Utah ski resorts, and 10 of those are within just 1 hour of the Salt Lake International Airport. And I wanted to talk about the newest, the 15th resort that just opened this season, which is called Woodward Park City. Now this is perfect for families and those with learning children or teenagers that love the park terrain. They have this amazing 6,500 square meters of indoor space. You can see a little glimpse of the indoor space there where they teach you with trained athletes inside, and then you can apply those outside on the slopes and in the park. And they also have a tubing hill that is open for families, and then are open year-round. So you can go on mountain biking trails in the summer when the slopes are not covered in snow. Now for your advanced skier, you would want to send them on the Ski Utah Interconnect Tour. This is where you can actually go up to 6 resorts in one day. So you'll go from the Salt Lake Canyons, like Big Cottonwood and Little Cottonwood, seeing those 4 resorts, and then you can even go over into Park City. So that would require some backcountry, but then you also get to go on the resort slopes when you go through each one. So really, really epic adventure. Oh, I accidentally skipped a slide. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. So this is a picture of Ogden City. I just wanted to show off another ski town north of Salt Lake City. You just drive an hour and then you get to this beautiful downtown, and above that in the mountains there are 3 ski resorts that you can enjoy. And this is just kind of a hidden gem still a bit, you know, going north off the beaten path and then enjoying the craft breweries, craft food and restaurants, a big art scene that they have downtown here on 25th Street. And overall, if you wanted to really experience something unique, you can do the slopes and national parks and see Utah's Red Rock. So this is pretty unique for a ski destination. And so we wanted to highlight specifically in this deeper dive that we recommend a 14-day minimum trip to be able to see all of that in one trip. And the Road to Mighty is the name of a campaign that followed what we call the Mighty 5. So the Mighty 5 campaign talks about our 5 national parks. After that was wildly successful, we created the Road to Mighty in an effort to spread visitation and talk about all the in-between hidden gems. So really quickly, we'd like to show you a campaign video of that.
You know this road. You've traveled it in your dreams. Artists and adventurers have always traveled here, found their muse in these red canyons. You were made to travel this road. It belongs to you. This is your birthright. For this is the Road to Mighty. The road begins at visitutah.com.
So that gives you a little bit of a glimpse of like our in-between hidden gems that we like to push on top of our national parks and to make sure we do regional visitation throughout the state. So one of those in-between hidden gems that you should stop by on the way to the Southern Utah National Parks and Red Rock is Helper City, pictured here. So this used to be an old mining and railroad town, but it's transformed itself into an arts and outdoor recreation area. So it's being revitalized. It's got beautiful and even world-renowned artists that call this place home and utilize the spaces there to not only work in, but feature their art. So you can go through galleries and get great coffee and food. So as you get into like the wild open spaces of Utah, you can find the swell. And this is just one, this photo is a peek of just one area in what they call the San Rafael Swell. This greater area is definitely big and wide open. It has places like Goblin Valley State Park, and it's definitely one that we recommend people book guides and outfitters in so that they will safely be able to experience it. And as we continue south, the first gateway community on the southeast side is Moab. So Moab is where you would access Arches National Park, and I just wanted to get into kind of our best recommendations for how to experience the most solitude there. On the left, the picture is of the Fiery Furnace, which is protected from becoming congested because you actually need a permit to hike there. And we also recommend booking a guided ranger hike because it's been said or been called a labyrinth in there. And then the second, I would recommend to visit at night during a new moon specifically so that you can see the dark skies that are featured on the top picture there. It is an internationally dark sky certified park. And then below, you can see it's beautiful in the winter. It's beautiful to see the snow there, and it is the least visited time of year. So you can find that solitude definitely. And in that same area is Dead Horse Point State Park. You can see it's wonderful for mountain biking. They have great mountain biking trails, and it's a nice challenge for those who want to try out the Slick Rock mountain biking. It's also a dark sky park. We have actually a total of 15 internationally dark sky certified parks, meaning you can see amazing Milky Ways there, and pretty much all of those dark sky parks offer they call them star parties. They bring out telescopes so you can really enjoy the night sky and see the Milky Way with your naked eye even. So in the deeper dive, I wanted to highlight some lodging, some unique lodging in each area. So this is an example of if you take kind of off the beaten path road down the riverside called Scenic Byway 128 off of Moab, you will find places like this pictured Sorrel River Ranch, which is really secluded. They offer great tours straight from the ranch, like horseback riding, and they have actually a winery nearby there that's out, just kind of out there you can visit. They also have some great secluded hiking areas in that area, so you can visit Fisher Towers and maybe go off-roading where there's definitely less people. So continuing south, you will find San Juan County, or Canyon Country. This is also where Monument Valley is, near the Four Corners area. And also in this area is Canyonlands National Park. Now I mentioned, if you were in the last presentation, that it is in the Moab area, and I'm not lying when I say that because it's actually in both areas. It's the largest park in Utah. It is actually, see my notes, it's actually 850 kilometers. So the largest in Utah, and it's in the top 25 in all of the US. So because it's so large and wide across Utah, you can see really different landscape. Like this is called the Needles District. In the Moab area, it looks more like Dead Horse Point, where you're looking over a canyon. So the Needles District is the lesser of the visited, so you can find more solitude there and just more unique views. So in Monument Valley, the Navajo Nation actually resides there, and they really embrace tourism. So you can actually book an experience like pictured with native entertainment and have a Navajo dinner at campfire. And specifically, Simpsons Trail Handlers Tours offers that kind of experience. And one of the newest properties in this area is called Bluff Dwellings. Now I have to set the setting for going there because I was blown away when I saw it. You're going down a road where you don't see anything for miles for a long time, and then you go through this kind of winding canyon, and as you turn around the corner, you pop out, and this is what you see. You see it beautifully sitting in the rock side. It matches the background perfectly in this Pueblo hotel style. And yeah, it's beautiful, brand new. And the nice thing about it as well for your clients is that it's actually owned and operated by the same company that does what's called Wild Expeditions. So you can book and leave for a tour right in that same property for a river tour or guided hikes or things like that. So another national park gateway community is in South Central Utah, Torrey. And that's where you access Capitol Reef National Park. So this is a gorgeous wild area of Capitol Reef called the Cathedral Valley. If you look really closely above where it says Capitol Reef National Park, you can see the tiny, tiny road. And so you just get a glimpse of how really epic and large these cathedrals are. On the other side of Capitol Reef National Park, which it's actually our second largest, you can see that it's a very different landscape. Because of the river that runs through the national park, it's really luscious and green, and pioneers actually established homesteads there. They still have the orchards, and they're still producing fruit. So you can either go pick fresh fruit, or you can go to a homestead house on the property that has fresh made pies, ice creams, jams. So really unique there. And this is one of their unique lodging properties. So you could stay in a Pioneer wagon. Also in this property you have teepees, and they've got cabins. So some great kind of outdoors places that are nestled against those beautiful red cliffs. And as you continue south, on the Scenic Byway 12, you can connect from Capitol Reef to Bryce area. Now again, we recommend that you visit Bryce in the winter, potentially. You know, see the white snow on the red rock. It is where you will find the most solitude. You can do activities like snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, even horseback riding in the winter, or sleigh rides. It's got a lot of different beautiful options. Sorry, it's lagging and changing slides. Also in that same Bryce Country greater area, you can find Escalante, or the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, where this hike is, Calf Creek Falls. So you can see there's definitely stuff to do outside of the national park, like this hike. It's 9.5 kilometers round trip, and it's on beautiful scenic byway in that national monument. So not too far off, in between Bryce and Calf Creek actually is Escalante, where you can find these yurts. And you feel like you're definitely out there, you know, wilderness, but then you get to these wonderful yurts that have AC and electronics and a full kitchen. So a great place to stay. Continuing south, as you get to the border of Arizona, you'll find the small but mighty town of Kanab. And here you can find really amazing outdoor adventure. So this is a glimpse of toadstool hoodoos, really interesting formations to hike through, or multiple slot canyons to hike. And Coral Pink Sand Dune State Park is also in this area, and you can rent ATVs or UTVs to drive around these sand dunes. It's really, really fun activity. So also in this area, you wouldn't expect it because it's really, like I said, kind of wild and out there, small town. but you've got amazing fine dining and lodging amenities. So this is showing off Sago Restaurant. Chef Sean, pictured there, is actually from Kanab. He decided to start his own restaurant there, even though he's cooked all over the world. He's classically trained. So you can expect to have great adventures and then really great lodging and dining as well. And another lodging property, but also just a beautiful place to stop by, is on your way to Zion National Park. This is called Zion Mountain Ranch. It's where you can actually stay in these very cute cabins in this green pasture and see roaming bison right next to you. They also have a farm-to-table restaurant next to the lobby of this ranch, and it's just a beautiful sight to see, to go from Red Rock to the beautiful green pastures. So like I said, as you continue west, you find the Zion National Park. And then if you continue even further southwest, you'll find St. George, which is only 2 hours from Las Vegas. So a great gateway community. And in case you didn't know, there is a great shuttle system in Zion National Park. They come about every 10 minutes and take you to all of the trailhead stops throughout the canyon. And it's a beautiful scenic drive, but even better way to experience it is you can strap on your bike onto the front of the shuttle, get off the last stop, and then ride down. It's got safe bike paths, a paved path in the middle that goes through the park next to the river. It's really, really stunning way to see the park. And just outside of the national park, there's this privately owned area that they call the Eye of the Needle. You can see it's another really epic adventure. They've built these climbing walls, and then you actually canyoneer down waterfalls. And the company that takes tours there is called Zion Adventure Company. They privately own it, and they basically own taking tours there. So they will take any experience level and take you through it, and it will definitely change your life. So just another lodging amenity in Zion area. You can stay at Zion Under Canvas, another glamping option. See the stars while you sleep, and it's in between Zion and St. George, so really feels really remote, but then again, you're right in between two major areas. So in summary, we've got 5 national parks, 7 national monuments, 6 national forests, 44 state parks, 15 ski resorts, and 15 dark sky parks. A lot to offer here. So I thank everybody for taking the time to learn more about Utah, and I will turn it over to Karen, and we can wrap it up here. And if we didn't answer all of your questions, we can definitely keep following up.
Yeah, thank you, Haley. That was excellent. As you can see, there is a lot of activity and a lot of action to be had in Utah. Just to give you just a little bit of idea around my experience, I have traveled, as I've mentioned before, extensively through Utah, and I'm here to help you build those itineraries. Now, you can see we are a relatively active state. However, we do also have a lot of stuff for the soft active. We have a lot of stuff for just the sightseers. So you can see most of this just from a viewpoint, from the, from a self-drive option as well as the active option. So when you're working with your client or trying to create that itinerary, that's when you can come to me. I can help you, get yourself onto the right track, depending on what their limitations are for how they want to experience Utah. So that's what I'm here. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do the questions for the Prezi the vouchers, for the $200 Prezi vouchers. So I'm going to put those up on the screen now for you to answer. Basically, at which Utah property can you stay in a cabin on a bison ranch? So that was in the presentation, so hopefully that helps. Then which of Utah's 5 national parks is the largest? we've got Arches, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Zion. So one of those 4 is our largest. And then what is the name of the tour where you can ski 6 of Utah's 15 resorts in one day? So I'll just give you a few minutes to answer that. In the meantime, we've had somebody ask on the comment side from Haley just to see if you have any more information on those wagons that you can share with us. Yeah, on the Conestoga wagons.
There's a few different places where you can stay in those Pioneer wagons. But yeah, different properties. So the one I featured specifically is just outside of Capitol Reef National Park. And when I say just outside, it's literally like barely over the line. So really conveniently located. So they have wagons there. They also have teepees. And there's a second property in the Capitol Reef area that even has wagons as well. Another place that's actually in northern Utah that you can stay in a similar kind of fashion is in Bear Lake. And yeah, so we've got a lot of outdoor kind of glamping options, if you will, that can stay in those kind of wagons or teepees or canvas.
Yeah, they're very cool. There's so much unique accommodation in Utah, so it really blends that whole amazing, scenic byway, scenic experience with a really unique accommodation. So it's a cool place to stay. Now, I think everybody's probably answered the question. So Bailey will be sending a message out at the end with who won that. Thank you for participating. What we are going to do, because we had a bit of an issue with our video at the beginning, we're going to replay the video that was missing. And also we've got a short video that we thought might be really cool for you guys to see. It's a She campaign that we did. It's a She Travel Utah. Basically, we launched it with our International Women's Day. We decided to unveil an inspiring women's focused campaign, and it was able to sort of coincide with the US women's suffrage as it was the 100th anniversary of women. So that's another short video we're also going to play post the rain one. So it's a nice send off. So thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate your time. And we will see you. Now, just a quick reminder, actually, before I do go, is we have another webinar training coming up. We have got, and I've got it here somewhere, on the 27th of May, we have the Discover the South with Grapevine, Oklahoma and Louisiana. And then we've got an Alaska deep dive on the 30th of June. So if you want to come and get some more information on that, that'd be great. So thanks everyone. Have a great day.
Tiny grains of sand sticking together under pressure. That's all this formation is made of, nothing more. So if you feel small or helpless, remember, you matter. Your sacrifice is sticking together under pressure. That's all this formation is made of, nothing more. So if you feel small or helpless, remember, you matter. Your sacrifices count. They add up, just like tiny grains of sand. By doing your part, you're helping build a safer world for everyone. It's a small thing, but it's mighty.
Today, I come seeking answers. I am listening for the language of women. I've worked my whole life to speak from this place consistently, to know it, to separate my voice from the tangles of those that whip around and through me. Here on the mountain and in the deserts, I am unfettered and free. My inner landscape stretches before me. As women who feel called to journey into wilderness, time and time again, we unfold ourselves in the land's time. We trust that in the wildness of wilderness is the emancipation of our own souls and the wisdom of everything that lives. In the wild, we begin to give voice.
Everything is connected.
We exist to be heard, to weigh in, to change course.
We speak for harmony and peace in family and community.
We are all co-inhabitants. We belong to the land.
As women connected to the earth, we are unyielding, fierce, and full.
Language transforms with time and experience, layering like sandstone in a heart and mind that understands more fully how the disappearance of wildness is our own erasure. Here on the mountain and in the desert, I am found and I am free.